Hello, everyone. It is Christina from Millburn hosting the Nick from Millburn Pirate Postgame show. It is the end of February, and my dad is busy in tax season, so I am standing in. I am his second stand in that he wanted. My brother had surgery, so I guess, they had to pick the next best Romano, and here I am. Joined with Bill and Paul. Paul, I'll toss it over to you.
Sure, Christina. Well, thank you for hosting our show, and a lot of stuff going on in the Romano family. Looking at a 71-67 Seton Hall loss at Stores on Alex Caraban's senior day, where they hung up a plaque to him, and he responded by scoring, making 20 something points. I don't have the stat in front of me. I think we said all along that this was going to be a tough game for Seton Hall to go up to Stores and try to win. But the team played pretty well. They were extremely effective shooting, much better shooting than I thought they would. AJ Stanton McCray, 4 for 8 for 3, 6 for 13 overall with 20 points. Fisher had 12 points. Jai Hines had 11 on 4 for 7 shooting. Seton Hall turned the ball over too much, 15 times. And Bud Clark, who I think, Danny Hurley had decided early on that Clark wasn't going to beat him, had 4 points on 2 for 10 shooting. And I have never seen Bud Clark have so many shots blocked as he did in the game this afternoon. Caraban, 23 points in his last game at home as a senior, winningest player in UConn history with a chance to win 3 national championships. And then they got 10 from Reed, 11 from Mullins, 14 from Solo Ball. UConn shot 43% from 3. And when that goes on, they're a very difficult team to beat. So it's hard to get too upset about Seton Hall's effort because they played probably as well as they could. It's hard not to turn the ball over against that defense. Their hands are in every passing lane. They play defense with their hands and feet. I did not expect, frankly, as people on the Facebook group who are killing me, and justly so, I didn't expect this game to be competitive. And the whole game, I kept waiting for that run, and then UConn finally made it. Solo Ball, who didn't really shoot well all game, made 2 big threes. Caraban made a 3. It went from an 8-point lead to a 1-point deficit, and that was it. Very hard to be upset with Seton Hall's play today. On the other hand, it's frustrating that for a couple of moments, they actually had their chance. And I'll finish with, I don't like to knock the officials, but if you're going to call a touch foul because UConn has a bunch of touch fouls to give, then you got to call the touch foul when Bud Clark is heads up enough to throw the ball toward the basket, and he should get his foul shots. I mean, you either got to go one way or the other. You either don't call it at all and let the game go on and let them play, or blow the whistle. And they called a touch that burned 5 seconds, forced Seton Hall to inbound the ball again. And then the second time that Solo Ball did it, Bud Clark alertly threw the ball at the basket. I'm throwing up a 3-pointer. I want 3 foul shots. And the referee looked at him, shrugged his shoulders, and ran down the other end of the floor. What do you think, William? What's your take?
I question some of these officials that rough these games. These officials, I don't know what their motto is, but whenever we play UConn, like shrugging your shoulders and walking down and not making a call. Let's be fair about it. Make the right call or don't make it at all. You're either going to be fair on UConn side or Seton Hall side. But you know what, Paul? The Hall played a hell of a game. You got to give him a lot of credit. Shaheen Holloway, he was under flu. He was not feeling well. Hopefully he feels better. But you know what? You can't turn over the ball like 13 times in a game against UConn. You can't do it. I mean, we talked about this when they played over at the Prue. They won by Connecticut won by 5. Now the same thing, they won by 5 up here. So you just got to go on. Seton Hall is the next game is what? Do we have a next game coming up? St.
Yeah,
John's at the
we got
Xavier before St. John's. Okay.
yeah, right.
Well,
Xavier's the middle of the week in Cincy.
Yeah, you gotta make adjustments. 13 turnovers. You gotta look at the staff board. 13 Caliban, Caravan, whatever his name is. He's a good shooter. You got to try to stop him. Where Seton Hall had the lead at halftime. You got to give Shaheen Holloway and his coaching staff good credit. Where it is, but we just fell short.
We definitely hung in. And like I was saying to you, Paul, before we got on, I don't know which is worse, getting your butt handed to you and just being out of it, or having hope and then having that totally crumble. So I see that we have Frank. Are you able to come on, Frank? Frank and Bobby were at a National Watch, and I would love to hear their perspective, both in regards to the game and then in regards to the atmosphere. So let's see how it is over there.
What's up, guys? How you doing today, man?
Hey, guys. It's really been a challenge to hear you guys. It's really been a challenge to hear you guys. Get both of y'all together. I'm going to move over here. Okay. Bobby's moving over because we're getting feedback over here.
Yeah. Once Bobby moves, I'll put him back on.
But I did hear you guys complaining about the referees. I don't know that I've never seen a call like that where someone's intentionally fouled and Bud Clark, throws up a desperation prayer and they don't call it. That was so frustrating. But not only that, before that, we had a guy driving in the lane. They let that go, but then something borderline the other way. They call a foul against Seton Hall. And it just reminds me of when we were at the Prudential Center, and they let it's like 30 seconds left, and they give UConn the benefit of the doubt once again, and gives them 2 foul shots. They go back up by 3. I don't know. That's part of the disadvantage of only winning 7 games last year. It's like they're not going to give us the benefit of the doubt on any calls.
Well, you're looking at a situation. There was a point in the game where we had 7 team fouls in the second half. And UConn had 1 team foul in the second half. Now, welcome to Gambling Village, right? That's what happens. But, one other thing that we should touch on, and I'm sorry, Christina, once you get your crew, I'm going to need to drop. But we played this game with Stefan Payne only getting 9 minutes because of foul trouble. And I think, what was it? Trey Parker wasn't able to go at all, right? So we essentially played this game with 7 guys.
Right.
And playing the team with all the options that they have with 7 guys, it's not surprising that by the end of the game we wore down a little bit. You look at it is Clark had 36 minutes, AJ had 36 minutes, Fisher had 30 minutes. I don't think he's played 30 minutes all year. And Najai Hines, who's out of shape, had 29 minutes because Payne was on the bench. So, you're trying to beat UConn with 7 guys in stores where they're raising a plaque to Alex Caravan. I don't know how you're going to do that.
Well, the other thing is I think we gave a valiant effort, and you do have to tip your hat to Caravan. Caravan was amazing today. But despite us being shorthanded and Caravan doing what he did, we were still in that game. That was a good game.
Now, Frank,
it was.
By the way, somebody else at our watch party is here. His name's Tim Palladino. Tim, say hi.
Hi, everybody.
So, Tim, he felt the same way I did. I don't know. Did you feel right?
No, I agree with what Frank's been saying for sure. We usually expect the refs to be with UConn for the most part, anyway.
Right. So anyway, wait, Bobby, Blackjack
here.
Oh, Blackjack. I guess he can't get a fee.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like the Facebook. Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah. Tim Paulino, remember, you have to show and track a little bit. Oh, yeah.
Good.
What's up, peeps?
Hey, how you doing, Bobby?
I'm telling you, this is going to be a stepping stone. If there's no upsets in the conference championships next week, I think the committee knows they owe us one. If they can keep it
Yeah.
close, 20-21 wins, right? I think they're going to owe us one.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen. So we'll see.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And Frank, can I ask a couple? So, by the way, a couple of questions, Frank.
Frank.
You're,
I'll go back. I'll go back.
I just wanted to ask. You said you're with
We're
Skip
playing musical chairs over here. It's Bobby's phone
Live
number.
from the low.
Now you said you're with
Yeah.
Frank. You said you're with Skip Palladino.
Yeah, Tim Palladino.
Tim, where is he from? I'm sorry, Tim. Where are you from?
I'm sorry. It's really hard to hear you guys. They still have to, after
I'm
the
just-
ball game, they put the music on, and we're having a hard time hearing you guys.
Okay, I'm just wondering where Tim is from. All right, but that's all right. So the other question, Bill, is
We're having a
I
hard
didn't
time
get a
hearing
chance-
You're off right now.
No,
No, we're on.
Lots
No, you're
going
on.
on over at that bar, huh?
I don't.
One phone, two phones, what we doing?
This working today.
There we go. Christine, this is a tough traffic situation for you.
I
don't think
know,
it's-
and I feel like
We
I'm
have-
like mixing them.
We
because I
got to
keep
get these
putting
guys
the
to turn the
sounds
music off. Put us in the green room or something for now.
down. Okay, sounds good. All right, let's put them in the green room while they get the music off.
Yeah.
And Bill, I was just wondering, I don't know if you got a chance. You watched the game on television as well, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So we didn't get to see if Caravan's grandchildren were at the game, did we?
Nah, I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
Feels like he's been around
Sure.
long enough, right?
Yeah, he ain't been around long enough to have grandchildren.
Well, I don't know. I watch him play. He looks like he's old enough to have grandchildren, but that's just me. So yeah, our next game now, we've got Xavier in Cincinnati.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's a tough game playing.
Yeah.
We got the Patino family back to back now.
Yep.
Yeah, we got Junior in
I'll see the Patino. I'll see the daddy tonight at the Garden.
Yeah,
Hopefully Villanova can beat him tonight.
Well, we'll see we'll see there. I came out. That's one of the things we're doing tonight. My friend that I'm out here in Hershey. We're going to be watching the Villanova St. John's game.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons I take a ride out here. But
Yeah.
So we've got Ricky on Wednesday, and then we've got Old Man Patino on
Friday.
Saturday. Friday night
Friday.
late. That's a
Friday
9
at 9,
o'clock.
which
9
might as well be early Saturday morning. That's going to be a lot for me. But based on what we saw today, I'll go over to you, Bill. What are your thoughts on how those next two games are going to go and need to go?
I think what needs to be done. I mean, Shaheen Holloway and his crew and his coaching staff need to go back in the lab and decide what he's going to do as far as improving on the turnovers. Out rebounding Xavier. And evaluate like Mike Williams' performance, Adam Clark's performance, and the Jai Hines. And Jai Hines, man, he had 11 points, 11 rebounds today. That's probably kind of big. He had some key shots in this game. As far as going with St. John's, back at the Garden, I wasn't able to make that game, but they lost a 15-point lead. And this team and St. John's or Connecticut, Bobby Hurley earlier said, he's scared of Seton Hall. He's scared of him because, Seton Hall is a scrappy team. Bud Clark, Elijah Fisher had 12 and he was 5 for 7. That it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like you have to give Hines some credit, though, because he had to play big minutes. And Shaw's known for saying he gets tired quickly. He's a freshman. He gasses out. And with Payne on the bench and Godswell, unavailable, he had no choice. And, he held his own. I would have loved to have seen what would have happened if Payne didn't foul out. Maybe the outcome would have been different, but you can keep saying that, till you're blue in the face. So
Yep.
he definitely stepped up.
So we'll see what we'll see what the jury's out the next two games. Going into the St. John's games. Last home game, senior night. That building has to be pumped up. It's crazy though. Speaking of St. John's, I was at their last game against UConn. They had all red, like an all red arena. They really come out. So our face and our student section really has to come out to give motivation to the team, because you don't want it's a cross rival cross over the bridge, and they're in Newark, but you want a crowd. You want to be the sixth man in the crowd to root for the Pirates. You can't have a fluctuation of the St. John's fans and a little mixture, but the student section has to stand up. They have to come to the games, and they have to show out. That's the big thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we're watching the UConn game. It was so loud, and they kept showing those bananas with their signs, and you can't help but thinking, like, when we talk to the students, we need to find a way to get our students more involved. And I know we've been saying that, right? But we need a spirit squad, something. My dad brought up the guys in the Speedos, the swim team.
Yeah, I seen the show. Yeah, very good on the program.
In order to just get the crowd going, because I feel like that's what's missing. What do you think, Paul?
So I think that we're going to need a big crowd. I think that we're going to need on senior day. Hey, Bobby.
You gonna throw snowballs, Rick?
No, I don't do snowballs, dude.
Hey, Bobby. Can you hear us?
Oh yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, great.
Rick, come on in.
Okay.
Come on. Yeah. Oh.
Did you go on a walk? Where'd you go?
Yeah, we're watching.
I just wanted to know, your boy Palladino, he's not from Connecticut, is he?
No, Palladino, no. He's from Old Bridge.
Okay. All right, because he'd be somebody else I might know. We're talking about what we got to do Wednesday night against Xavier. And, that team is all about Trey Carroll, right, who is a man among boys. He is a big guy. But they're not a deep team. If we're healthy, we should have a shot to go into the Cintas Center and get a win. And then we still need that marquee win. You need to win on senior night, 9:00 on Friday night in the Newark Center. We got to get that one big win. We were this close against St. John's once. We were this close against UConn twice.
Right.
We got to get that one marquee win. Maybe do a little damage in the Big East tournament, and then we'll see where the chips fall.
Yep. Well, that's the thing. I mean, the heavyweights we've gone toe-to-toe with, and anything could happen in the Big East tournament. And we've seen Shah work his magic before, not only in the MAC tournaments, but in the NCAA tournament. So, and the NIT.
Yeah, we just went into somebody who everybody's saying could win the championship into their den with their raucous crowd and lost by 5 points, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
That proves we can play with anybody.
Yes, and led the whole second half, right? We were winning that game right until the last 4 or 5 minutes.
Yep.
Traded baskets with UConn.
If we had God's will, if we had, I know it hasn't been all year, if we had a Superman, we were one big man winning that game today.
Yes.
Once Payne went out, we were in trouble.
We were 6 minutes of Stephon Payne. He fouls out with 3 minutes left, and we are looking at a whole different game. But as my mother used to say, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Christine, I'm gonna have to leave it to you guys. Wish your father my best. Tell him to come out of the basement.
For real.
Tax evasion's not a big deal anymore. Just fill the forms out and we'll all sign them.
Anything goes, right? Well, thanks for joining, Paul. I know you got a lot going on over there, so
Thanks,
we appreciate it.
Bye-bye, fellas.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
So Frank, Bobby, tell us about the National Game Watch. Where were you? How was it? How was the crowd?
Well, we're in Lodi, New Jersey, and it's right off of Route 80 and Route 17.
87.
Not even far from the Garden State Parkway.
Yeah.
But we had a really good time watching the game. It wasn't a huge turnout, maybe 10 to 15 people. There was a girl from Seton Hall who her name was Olivia Gilbert, I believe her last name was. She was on the softball team, yeah, and she won a Big East tournament in 2023 with the team. So she was here with us. Great girl. She graduated last spring from, and you know, she lives in she's from Rhode Island, but is permanently down here right now, or at least until she gets her MBA. Who else? We had somebody else who came from Stratford, Connecticut, and her dad came from Milford, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
They met each other here. I had a few other people that came from locally that I knew. So as I said, 10 to 15 people, but that was one of many places that have had these national game watches today. Uh, I was really hoping to win this game. My wife went to the game with my son, and my son's a UConn student, and I really wanted to win this one since they got us last time, but
Yeah.
it wasn't in the cards again.
And when I woke up this morning and I put two and two together that it's National Game Watch and it's UConn, I'm like, oh God, why would they do that? Like,
I know.
you
Right?
don't
I'm
even,
thinking,
Yeah.
you don't even
usually a
have a
homecoming
chance.
in high school, your homecoming game is always a team you can beat,
Yeah.
right?
Well, our
They
National
never
Game
give us an
Watches,
easy one. It's either been UConn or at Creighton.
I feel like it was
And last
Marquette
year it
one
didn't matter
year.
who we played on the road. We weren't winning on the road. We didn't win one game on the road last year.
And then our senior night is St. John's. So that's another tough, optimistic, but another tough one as well.
Well, yeah, all right. I mean, the odds aren't going to be with us, but I think we have a chance, just like we had a good chance today. Look, I was so proud of the way they played today, just like I was the way they played UConn the first game, and the way they played St. John's, the way they played at Creighton. You know, we played a lot of good games. Unfortunately, we've come on the wrong end of a lot of tough ones.
At least for me, the difference between UConn and St. John's. The difference between UConn and St. John's, for me personally, is that UConn, one of our own is coachman, right? So as soon as we're knocked out, whatever reason, whatever happens, I'm rooting for Danny Hurley, a fellow alum. St. John's is just the enemy.
Yeah.
They do things wrong. They do things backwards. They do things where unethical. They have the most unethical coach in the history of college basketball as their head coach. And you know, who knows? Maybe Friday night, 9 o'clock at night, everybody's pissed off at the 9 o'clock game, but maybe we turn that to our advantage. Maybe we get the crowd behind us. The weather should be nice by the end of the week. It's a Friday night. It's March. Where else are you gonna go? Go to Prudential Center and let's knock St. John's off.
Go up.
Bill, you there? I lost you. Let's see if we can get Bill. But no, I totally agree. 9 o'clock is not ideal for me. Everyone knows on here that I go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. So, but we will do St. John's. I don't know. I don't see Bill. Frank and Bobby, you guys can hear me?
I hear you.
Any other thoughts that you guys want to add before we wrap up?
Frank stepped away for a second, but like I said, I think I'm encouraged. We could have easily been blown out like St. John's was.
Yes.
The only thing I was telling the guys here was like, if this wasn't their senior day, they would have been sleeping today. But they got pumped up because senior day, Caravan, all those guys. But if it was a normal Saturday 12 o'clock game after a huge emotional win against St. John's, they would have been asleep today. But the senior day helped them up a little bit. And you know what? We almost pulled it off.
Yeah. I mean, you got to give us a lot of credit, but also at the same time, God, I wish we pulled it out.
Yep. So now we got to move for our ladies tomorrow. at 6 p.m. They're playing, I believe, at Butler, if not mistaken, or Xavier. I'm not sure which one. But, ladies win one game, and then, they're going to be in a proper seed.
I'm not going to be leaving too much.
So it looks like it's Butler
I just
tomorrow.
keep-
So the ladies are taking on Butler tomorrow. It was a tough game for the ladies against Villanova, but
You know
we just
what? There
need them to
was,
be healthy.
yeah. And the way Coach sounded at the presser, he doesn't think he's getting Kraft back, and he doesn't think he's getting. And I don't know. I'm not sure what happened with Natalia Hall Rosa with her hand, but you guys missed that. She was going for a loose ball. It got rolled over,
Oh no.
and she was immediately grimacing and almost in tears after that. And Coach said she went right to X-rays.
Who played
So
point after that?
what's that?
Who played point?
Oh my God! Yeah, committee by that play, right? This Catalan probably your best dribbler after that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but she's got to do so much more. You don't want her stuck doing that.
Yeah. So that's it from our end.
Okay, Bill, any
Nope.
final thoughts before we let everyone go? Are you able? Are you there?
I'm here.
All right. Any final thoughts before we wrap it?
Actually, I do. On a positive note, Seton Hall did play a good game. Unfortunately, Seton Pirates came up short. So hopefully we'll go to the next game, Xavier and St. John's.
Yeah. I mean, my dad, he called me. He's like, if they win, you and Bill have to go in, that the nail's not in the coffin. Listen, it was a great effort. We'll see what happens. I'm optimistic.
Yep, we are.
All
Have
right.
to stay optimistic.
Yep. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.